Uh, what's up? Look at the camera. Hey, how's everyone's day? I know that some people send Curious edits live. I was one of them people, but then I had to start mine, so yeah. Anyway, how's everyone's day? Hope it's going good, because mine is. No Curious edits is right now, so yeah. How's everyone else's day? There we go. It's a little bit better. Yeah, how's everyone else's day going? So in this live, I'm not gonna show no custom figures. We're just gonna talk about why I have been posting so many videos every time. There's like multiple reasons, but I don't want to give you all multiple reasons. Just want to give you all one. The reason of why is because, well, I want to get more viewers. Now, I know I should probably just slow down and wait till I get reactions and people then watch it. That's how I can get more views. But I haven't been doing that. I've been doing it my way, which is going fast. Not slowing down. You get me? So, that's what I need to do. I'm gonna start slowing down. Actually start doing the vids. So yeah, that's why I've been posting a lot lately. What's up, gaming? Subscribe if you haven't. So, yeah. And also, if y'all haven't watched Dallas custom figure lives, I was in it. So I hope I can get more viewers because of him helping me out. So yeah, hello to the people who is here. Sub if you haven't. If you do sub, it will help me out more. So yeah. Hola. How are you doing? What's up, Just Birdez? I think that's how I say it. But yeah, watching your stream because Curious got boring. Yeah, he's going through a lot. But yeah, sub if you haven't because we are almost at 260. And this stream is 2 hours long, so since it's gonna be it's just him and his brother beating each other off camera on. Sure. So yeah, if you haven't, sub because it will help me out more. But yeah, what's up, Future Rex? So we're actually gonna have this right here. We're just gonna have figures be chilling. I'm gonna be talking with you guys. make it Kong and Lord. Sub. Alright, I'll be back because I have to get my charger. So, yeah. By the time I come back, I want 260 on my screen. Yo, that gorilla looks like me. Okay, Ray. No one's scared of you, bro. You think because you're a boy you should be scared of me? I will kick you in the balls. Don't try me. I will sharpen my nails and come to school with them tomorrow. Oh, what? Wow, 161. That's pretty good. Keep going. Wow, 162. Come on, guys. Sub more. This is actually helping me, so sub more. Let me get my tripod. 123. Okay, we're going very fast and very good. But yeah, keep subbing. I'm gonna turn my camera off real quick so I can fix the stand. 164. Keep going. We're doing good on subs. Oh, my bad. What's up, Motionless? How you doing? Alright, come on, let's get some more subs. Come on, guys. Get that sub button up. Just tell anybody who's near you to sub, because if we do get 270 and we somehow get 301 stream, I will be very excited and very happy. The reason of why is because Kiryu Edits is almost at he's almost at 500 and I'm almost at 264. I mean 300. What's up? 6, 7. Alright, now I'm gonna piss Hugo here with Gonna see what Kiryu is up to, but Jarvis was in the stream and I'm scared of that dude. Let's check right now. Don't mind this. Keep subbing. I'm finna get the Kiryu stream. Six, 7, or 4-1. 4-1. Hey, bro, and then my last stream. Dang, I was just finna check yours. Oh, never mind. Guess we can just go back to this. Help me get that sub up. Why did you end your stream? Oh yeah, also, did you see my trailer? It's like Godzilla X Kong Planetary Destruction. Seiko looks cool. Thanks. I did customize him a little. I actually am thinking about taking his head off and giving him a movable head, but I don't know if I can do that. Because I don't think he has a ball joint like Kong and them. But yeah, Curious, why did you end so early? Yeah, because it hit the 1 hour mark and my phone was dying. Oh, that does happen to me. But yeah, what did you think of the trailer, Curry? Oh my god. It was a great trailer, bro. Thanks. Don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm just going to my live, you know. Don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm just going to my live. Just wanna. There we go. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to drop a whole bunch of W's. I had to drop them. True that you can't have too many W's. There we go. This is a little bit better. I just wanted to check the success. 7 views. Oh yeah, Carry you don't know who Cash is, right? I'm gonna show you who Cash is. He's a pretty good stop motion YouTuber. I'm gonna show you. Oh yeah, Yales did the 1 hour mark. You should use AI in your videos and pay attention spam. Please don't. Trust me, I'm not gonna ever use AI in my thing. And by the way, I'm working on my pipe cleaner TV, man. Cool. I actually want to do some, like, Skibbity Toilet, SPC, stuff like that. Let me put them on the stand. Okay, but I have bad news. Please don't be a delay. I can't handle people. There we go. There we go. Matter of fact, I got a better pull. That was cool. I got a better pulls. You and your brother decided it was clobbering time and clobbered each other. By the way, who would you think when Titan TV Man or Morsels were motivated? Oh, that's an easy choice. Motionless but motivated would win. The reason why is because 1, his feats, and 2, I will also be training him. So, yeah. And then he went toe-to-toe with you before. But I know that you had, you have your rings, so it'll stop you from using your full power. But I still think he will win. No, I'm not losing to that giant man with a TV. I'm trying to pose this Kong. Let me show y'all what I'm doing. I actually think I might use this in Planetary Destruction. Just make Kong pick up Suko and use him as a weapon. By the way, there is another character. Alright, now we can go back. You do? I do what? Because I do have a new character. But yeah, Carry edits. This is Cash Wilson. I actually think I might add some voice acting. Acting, not actions, acting. He was an older one, but yeah, I guess from MK1. If you're talking about that, that's not so funny. By the way, I'm making Titan Keeping Man the GOAT, the greatest Titan. Do you just call a Skibbidy's toilet character the goat? The goat is speaking from Goat Simulator. I'm actually gonna start taking notes down because I'm gonna try to make something like this with my teaser, by the way, my new gauntlet that I am making. Because Kong's gonna have his Beast Glove gauntlet, which is this right here, and he's gonna have his other gauntlet. These would be pretty cool rings. Bro, Titan cameraman, in my opinion, is the greatest leader. At second, Optimus Prime is always at first. Yup. Also, LG trained emotionless will not help him. It will, because I have reality warping abilities. The greatest leader is Calm because he liberates dying apes from Scar King. And I actually think he's a good emperor. Oh yeah, that's actually a perfect time to do this. Alright, there should be a poll now. This to me not showing any hostility. But yeah, there should be a poll right now. It should say, bring back the apes, yes, no, or hell yeah. The reason why I'm asking this is because, I want to bring the great apes back. Honestly, needing a father figure. Okay, stop pulling your brother's hair. But yeah, pick. Right now, we're finna check our subs. If there's anyone who can beat me, it's either Solar Eclipse or Future Rex. I can't beat you? I feel like I can beat you, Terry Evans. Matter of fact, instead of us debating, we should, as you want cast, see, just trying to make friends with a guy who can't control his temper. Shameful. Yeah, but you are strong, but I can beat you. You probably can. Because I do have one weakness, but I'm just not gonna say it. You have to find out. Okay, that's just aura. Future Rex, where have you been? I know you was here, but why they heard you say nothing? Yes. Alright, it's 50-50 right now. I should bring the apes back. On yes or hell yeah. I was asking if you needed one. Just don't ask questions like that if I'm trying. If I'm gonna get upset, you know I'm already frustrated. Oh yeah, guys. Let's try not to frustrate, period edits. I actually haven't seen, go see Summer's new vid. Alright, everybody say yes. You can now delete this.
Humans, either a lone diver in the water or some nightmarish scenario of the bloop up staging the movie Megs and swimming past a beach to scarf down a whole group of people. What kind of grisly fate can we expect for someone who goes down the hatch? Well, in today's science lesson, we'll look at some real-world biology that might give us some information. First off, put any ancient movie cliches out of your mind. Unless you got swallowed with a mecha suit and a lightsaber, you are not cutting yourself out. Soft tissue like those on the insides of animals aren't always soft. The walls of things like the throat and stomach are muscular, flexible, and thick. After all, we squishy humans are supposed to be able to scarf down hundreds of times our own body weight worth of food every year of our lives. If we got sliced up by every loose piece of sharp or stiff material that went down our throats to bits ages ago. We ain't giving any of those poor suckers going down Bloop's throat any plot armor.
Only like
Well, numerous
28 minutes late.
However, there are some commonalities that might tell us what's going on inside.
Yeah, bro, can you
After all,
make
this
it pull
whole
to see
modern myth was
when
started
need
from
you
what
or
was a
most
loud
us?
ice quake mistaken
Can't
for
wait.
an animal call
Alright,
similar to a
I
whale.
will,
Only
after
the whale would
this
have been
poll,
an order of magnitude
which
larger
is
than
already
any
done because
known
everybody said
species.
yes.
The popular image of the
So,
bloop
expect the
also does
lore
have
to
a
come for
whale-like
Space
body,
Bites.
and some of the most popular
The,
videos about it,
sure.
such as those by Borisov Blois, featuring a colossal showdown with El Gran Maha, do call this large leviathan a cetacean. Cetaceans, named after the Greek sea monster Cetus, are the groups all modern and extinct whales and dolphins belong to. While it is reasonably well known that whales evolved from land-dwelling mammals, the taxonomic family of mammals they belong to is the relevant part here for our unfortunate bloop victims. So, to start off, despite whales living in the ocean, they drink very little salt water. Their digestive system is specially attuned to absorb the water from the tissues of their prey. This also means that whenever they take a massive gulp, all that seawater that wound up inside their mouth has to go somewhere. And with the bloop sporting a row of slicing teeth lining its massive jaws, it might employ a method seen in other marine mammals: filter feeding.
Dang.
Alright, before we proceed, we'd like to play a little game with you guys.
Why is
Here
everybody
are two
picking
test
most of
subjects,
us? Why
and
nobody
your
pick
task will be
me?
to choose which test subject you want to be, and try to guess which
Bruh.
of these is going to go out in the quickest and
6
least painful
views and
manner.
everybody's picking
You can
most of
pick
us.
A,
Wow.
the dude in a
Did everybody
swimsuit,
just
or
forget
B,
I'm here
dude
too?
in a sci-fi temperature-resistant
I'm right up
suit
there.
providing some protection. You picked one yet?
Can't
All
Hold
right,
up.
good.
Let the
Let's
viewers
proceed.
decide.
So, filter feeding, right? For something like a
It's crazy
humpback
that
whale,
nobody
this
picking
means
me.
filtering out tasty plankton from thousands of gallons of seawater. For
I'm
something
sorry
like
about
a bloop,
most
this
of
now
this.
means
Most of
filtering
this
out
is getting
potentially
cooked.
hundreds of beachgoers or boaters from
Sorry,
millions
bro.
of gallons of seawater. After taking a big gulp, the throat
Wow,
muscles
it's
and tongue
crazy.
contract and push forward.
Why nobody
All of
pick
that
me?
water taken in with its victims is rapidly
Hey,
shot
man.
out from
What
the
about
mouth.
me,
In
guys?
filter feeding whales, this means
I
the
got
water is
0
run
on
out
mine.
across hair like
I mean, I can be most of this. Period edits probably not.
victims would
Probably
suffer the
low.
same fate of small fish and crustaceans swallowed
It
by creatures like
depends.
crab-eating seals. They
We are
get filtered
Sean
out from
LG,
between
and you can be
clenched
most of this.
teeth.
Put
Given
a
the
smile
sheer
on my
size of the
face.
bloop, any people caught up inside the mouth would suffer one
Alright.
of two fates. Number one, either they are
Everybody
caught
pick
against the
most
teeth
of
and
this.
kept inside the mouth to be swallowed, or the sheer water pressure
Alright,
practically
now we're just
fires
gonna
them through the
do.
gaps between the sharp teeth.
We're gonna do another poll, and it's gonna be me and someone else.
Their bodies apart and tear them limb from limb as they are violently ejected out. Body parts would be torn off, necks and spines would be snapped or shredded, and the bloody pulp might wind up floating off into the water. And those might have been the lucky ones. After all, at least they went out quickly.
Dang, they did
The
pick
rest
most of
go
this though.
further down the hatch. Quick parenthesis here.
There you
may have
go.
noticed we used a smaller,
Now pick.
more juvenile version to showcase this tour. That's because if we use a huge bloop, you wouldn't be able to see the people clearly. So,
I pick
to
you.
provide an
Type,
optimal
type, type.
learning experience, we'll continue using a small,
But don't pick me
juvenile
because
bloop.
y'all like me
Now,
or
let's
something
just
like
assume
that.
the physics
We're not
already
here to
meant
do
so anything
favoritism.
like
We're
this
doing
exists
this on a
is going to
realistic,
continue to be meant. Otherwise, a hot-blooded mammal this size with this much insulated
basics.
tissue would be heating up on the inside like a furnace.
Like
so,
that.
if we don't assume the temperature is pushed back down to normal levels for something like a blue whale, the insides of the bloop might become hot enough
content,
to boil you
stuff
alive
like
all
that.
the way down. Congratulations! Those of you wearing a suit didn't end up as steaming soup. Now you get to go out in an even worse way because there isn't just one stomach. Why?
I don't need no love. I'm
Despite
just a
their
happy
looks
guy.
and carnivorous
Same.
ancestors, whales are actually part of the Artiodactyla, even-toed hooved animal family. Just stay with us. This will make a lot of sense in a bit. While most members of this group today are herbivores such as deer, hippos, and cattle, with a few omnivores like pigs, in the
His gamma
ancient
strap
past, some of this
stronger
group were
than
among the
orange.
largest land predators to
Yes.
ever exist
All
in
right.
the aftermath of the time.
I gotta do something, so I'm gonna take the phone with me, but I'm gonna have the camera off. And I'm gonna be mute, so I unmute when I read y'all comments. Alright, so I'm gonna just chill with y'all. I got chores to do. So get ready for the chill live stream. Whoa, man. So yeah, you guys can ask me any questions while I'm doing this. I made a sort of new custom for Gamma Jet. I just gave him a normal T13 fist. If you go on my channel, you will see it, what I'm talking about. No way. Oh, what's up, Goji Collects? Actually, Goji Collects, what is your second channel? Because you said you have a second channel where you do videos and lives. Then you have another channel. But yeah, Goji Collects, what is your second channel called? Because I actually want to watch some of your lives. And stuff like that. And his name is 10 out of 10. I actually was thinking about doing a fast name. But then I started to think about all the people who do like short names. Because they don't want all these. I'm in vacation. I don't have any more channels. Oh. I'm on vacation until Monday. I just have one. Oh. Then I must have already seen your channel. Sorry, I'm free for... Oh, so you're free for the whole week. Okay. Oh, yes. Was anybody there at the Friday Night Customs with Dallas? Because I was there and he did review Mike. He reviewed your mate. So, yeah. Let me take the poll out. I was there. Oh, yeah, I know you was there, I think. I think I saw you. Well, I don't think is I don't see none. On Friday the 13th of January, Jason wants to play Call of Duty with me. Oh, yeah, I'll let him in. So, yeah, I'll let him in. But yeah. If you guys can, please sub more, because we are close to, I think we just got like probably 5 or 6 in this live. Tomorrow we might get even more, which is crazy how we're getting so many subs. I actually appreciate that. Who's this? This ain't mine. It's Gramps. Oh, what's up? What's up, my boy Zombie Shark? Haven't seen you in a while. Where have you guys been? I haven't seen Zombie Shark, Gojira, Zombie Shark, Gojira. I haven't seen Fat Tornado in a while. No, Fat Thunder. Yes, I do remember all of your guys' names. You are my biggest supporters, so how can I possibly forget? And then your names are so easy to remember. Sorry, I meant hi. Remember, oh yeah, and Strength VR and Too Slow. Where are they at? I knew I forgot like 2 people. I low key also got a new phone. Oh, hey Zombie Shark, I remember they were chill. Oh yeah, they were definitely chill. Too Slow. When I met Strength VR and Too Slow, I did my 5th live, and it was at like 9. No, it was at 8 p.m. And then they came, said what's up, asked me can I review and watch and subscribe to them. Then they subbed to me and I let them be moderator. The good old days. Bye, I'm going. Alright. Gotta go because my fish is barking. Alright. Come back when you're done with your fish. Because the live isn't even close to done because I'm doing an hour live. No, I'm doing a 2-hour live. What am I talking about? Hour. Oh yeah, by the way, LG, who is your favorite Godzilla? Why is everybody leaving? It better be me. My favorite Godzilla is either the 2021 version or Evolve, or the next Godzilla version if they actually do change the design. The 2030 design. I really do hope they do make a new version of I really do hope they do make a new version of Godzilla. and a Godzilla X Kong Supernova. For real, in my opinion, Evolved Godzilla is the most powerful. True, but we don't know if Godzilla's gonna get even stronger in the next movie. And if he do, I might actually change. Because y'all know my profile is Evolved Godzilla, because I like Evolved Godzilla. It was originally Blue Godzilla, but then that was Natzilla until you Edis told me. I didn't want to be someone who already had a blue profile, so I changed it to the pink Goji. And now, I might turn into like a orange Evolved Godzilla, because that's what everybody's saying will happen in Supernova. An orange Evolved Godzilla. I already know the white Evolved Godzilla is taken because of Future Rex. Because Future Rex is white now in his advanced form. I thought he was originally blue and pink, and white was gonna be my next form. But then Future Rex took it, so I'm KO King of the Monsters Goji. Yeah, I know you're King of the Monsters Godzilla. I want to be a different one though. So I'm gonna be like a orange Evolved Godzilla. Cause I like the Evolved Godzilla design. I don't like the fact that everybody's saying he's gonna be orange. So I might change it to orange. Cause I like orange. Or I could just turn to a green Godzilla. Nobody did green. So yeah, 2021 was iconic, memorable. Yeah, 2014 was the scariest. And 2024 was chaos. I definitely agree. 2024 was definitely chaotic. So stream will end at 3. Reason why I'm making stream 2 hours long is because on Friday I think I made a short stream just to show the new Shimo. Now I'm gonna make an even longer stream, which is just me chilling with you guys and reacting and getting some subs in. Also, while y'all watch me, well, not watch, listen to me doing chores. Not saying theirs are bad, it's just maybe they get more funny. Oh yeah, that is true. So, yeah. Expect a lot more in the future. After this live, I will change my profile to the Godzilla, the orange Godzilla. I think 2024 is the best because it's a 10,000 times rewatchable than the first two. It is true. You can watch that so many times. I did only watch 2021 like 5 times after the movie came out. No, first time movie came out, I went to a theater. Second time I went home, I watched it twice. And then I watched it 3 more times when I was at my grandparents' house. Lg411 probably unalive his toys, but it's worth it because he makes customs out of it. Oh yeah, I definitely do unalive mine. I break their body parts off, take their jaw, rip it off, and then place a whole nother new one in there. But then it'd be worth it at the end because it looks good. And this is actually my first time ever doing customs with articulation like that. Like, I only made customs out of tape and stuff. Not me taking figures apart to make them better. But, yeah. I want some reactions. Because for the Grant stole my toys, so okay, Oben. I want some reactions because we'll do those. When we reach the hour mark, we're just gonna be watching reactions for an hour. Hold on, I'm gonna mute myself real quick. Alright, I'm done. Alright, so what do you guys wanna react to? Boom, we're back.
The dinosaur extinction. And one common trait found across most members, whales included, is that these creatures have multiple stomach chambers. The same mechanism that helps a cow break down tough grass helps whales process hard-shelled crustaceans like krill. And unfortunately, in our scenario, some not-so-hard-shelled people. Entering the first chamber, the forestomach compartment, doesn't mean a direct dunking into the stomach acid yet. Keyword being yet. But abandon all hope, ye who enter here. Instead, this compartment is full of digestive microbes that help it break down certain structures. For our unfortunate bloop victims, this means nails, hair, and skin start breaking down, softening, and sloughing off after they're covered in vats of pre-digested enzymes and
Zombie
microbes.
Shark
Someone would have
215,
to
did you
survive
see the...
asphyxiating to death from all the gases
I thought you ate
produced
that
by these
turtle.
microbes,
Yeah.
replacing a lot of the
But
oxygen with
Zombie
toxic levels of carbon dioxide and methane.
Zombie Shark
They did by
215.
being lucky, or
Did you see the
rather
new trailer?
unlucky enough to be wearing something like a scuba tank to breathe from, they might have wished they went out the other way. The forestomach in some species of whales isn't just a fermentation chamber, but a heavily muscular organ that helps to separate out the edible from the inedible. And it sometimes does this with brute force. Despite their huge size, whales can have surprisingly compact innards. Even scaled up to the size of the bloop, the opening to the next chambers of the stomach are substantially smaller than the forechamber. So things need to get broken down before they continue on. For our unfortunate bloop victims, this also means that almost anything inedible or unpalatable that the bloop has swallowed, intentional or otherwise, is kept inside the forechamber. And when the muscular walls start contracting and flexing, all of those inedibles are going to be sent crashing into them. There would be no time to get your bearings or try to escape. Within moments of arriving, you would find yourself with thousands of pounds of broken bones, squid beaks, rocks, and other swallowed objects falling on you like an avalanche, as parts of your body are sloughing off. In effect, some whales chew with their stomach, and this whale of a whale is no different. Ground and crushed into a pulp, the edible meat floats to the surface as what is left of you joins the grinding remains. Some of one victim's bones might wind up helping crush a future victim. The rest is shuffled into the main digestive stomach chambers to be further broken down and consumed. Anything that remains would be spat up eventually to litter the seafloor with whatever is left. At this point, there wouldn't be a point to covering the rest of the digestive journey. Even if a victim somehow survived the violent journey through the mouth, somehow had their own oxygen supply, and somehow was inside something sturdy enough to avoid being crushed to death, getting dunked into thousands of gallons of digestive acid would be curtains for anybody. Dead men tell no tales in the sea, and the victims of the bloop suffered probably one of the most horrific of all fates, depending on what step they perished in. Alternatively, the bloop might have the ability to produce its own kind of wax, similar to what sperm whales do. This wax, called ambergris, coats material that gets stuck in the forestomach and helps it get back up when the whale needs to hit the purge valve. This wax can sometimes wind up on beaches, at first smelling like straight up feces, but after it ages, it has a distinct aroma that sometimes ends up being used in some high-end perfumes. So, some vacationer or fisherman could perhaps discover a human skull embedded within the waxy capsule as all that would remain of you. And in this alternate universe, don't be surprised if the victims of this giant cetacean end up in a perfume bottle. That would be the fate of anyone consumed by the internet's favorite marine urban legend. But what about those unfortunate enough to meet our bioaccurate version in the open ocean while it has an appetite? Unlike the urban legend version popular on the web, Cryocidon setavenator is not a whale, but a hunter of whales. This gigantic beast doesn't look like a monstrous axolotl for no reason, as it is actually a type of marine amphibian from a bygone era. So how might a not-so-fantastic voyage down the hatch of the sinister...
We're just gonna turn this one.
Evans, we're going haywire beyond repair. Something is happening to Dagon. Something unlike anything ever seen before.
What are the readings?
The readings, they are unmatched to anything we have as a set unit.
Damn it, the entire Arctic Ocean has been vaporized. The ground itself is a heat mirage. Boot up Project Baragon. We can at least try to cool the area with it.
Right away.
Monarch fires modules from the satellites high in space. The rockets barely surviving re-entry. The air around them climbing over 300 degrees Fahrenheit. The Baragon super drones land, blasting ice. Islands of snow are pouring out every minute. But it's not enough, melting the moment it makes contact with the ground. The drones go into overdrive. Other companies send in support. Apex, Shao Industries, Scarred, and more are on their way with their own weather drones. Together, they're able to reverse the temperature by roughly 1 degree every 4 minutes. This goes on for hours. Drones melting away from the heat. But then, the ice starts to pile out of nowhere. The heat, it's gone. The ocean floods back in as the drones fly away and are replaced with the battlegrounds. The ice drones have made an ice mountain taller than the Rockies, yet despite its size, it glows. The light blue overtaken by a darker green, pulsating, thinking even. The ice cracks down the center, steam shooting out so violently and so fast. The Earth itself is set off by a few inches in space. Once the steam stops, a gargling is heard from the drones. Something's down there. Monarch isn't even aware it's Titan, much less Dagon of all of them. The ice melts away as Titanus Dagon stands tall. A thick tail, new spikes, fins, and more. He looks at himself, almost admiring his physique, but confused. Dagon has forever been a heavy sleeper, so he didn't even know what was happening. But from all of his fights, his body somehow kept his foe's DNA intact. Saying he evolved is an understatement. No, he was reborn. DNA from not just one, but an army of kaiju. The Kraken,
In chat, my
Godzilla,
bad, I
Two
said
Primes,
change.
Shinamura,
I
Tiamat,
meant in
Abzu,
chat.
along with the energy found in the iceberg. He's ascended past the title of Titan. He is a god amongst the rest. Dagon scratches his side, stretches and swims off, unbothered. His ego stays the same, just a patrolling officer. Though now his job is easy. Wherever he swims, wherever he walks, Titans flee hours beforehand. The humans going into emergency bunkers, fearing his power and radiation might reach them, despite being hundreds of miles away. He's almost lonely. Literally no one dares to get close to him, though he doesn't mind. He's happy living a loner lifestyle, as long as no one acts out of hand. Shinzo Mifune, a mad scientist. He hates Dagon's power, his stride. He's tired of living in fear from him. Even his boss, Alan Jonah, wrapped up his work in fear of Dagon. We're the hyenas, damn it! He yells at the board. We are the frontier of kaiju containment and research. And you want to throw it away because that damn lizard got taller? Mifune rages on. The rest of the board doesn't want to hear it. They listen to who's in command, that being Jonah. Very well then. Mifune draws his weapon, aiming it at Jonah. You resign now. Jonah immediately giving in. Now, you all report to me. We're going to the Arctic. Now. The Hydra leaders not wanting to die, listen. Starting up their planes and they head to the Arctic. If anyone can take on Dagon, it's him. Mifune mumbles to himself. They land, wiping out the troops and
I
setting up their
forgot Godzilla
explosives like in the
had
world
abs.
you know. With a swift and efficient team, Hydra blows up the ice. And using an early test version of the Orca, they provoke Ghidorah. Ghidorah, waking up, not knowing what has happened over the past 100,000 years. His cocky attitude takes over. As he hears the Orca's call, Ghidorah lets out his own alpha call. He climbs from his icy tomb, Hydra leaving in their jets. Mifune happy with his work. Ghidorah stands there, snow blowing in his eyes. He waits. Time passes, as he expects at least one kaiju to arrive, but none do. He does the call once more, but again, nothing. Something is wrong, Ghidorah thinks to himself. Little does Ghidorah know, all the kaiju heard the call, but they don't dare obey. As Ghidorah is about to lift off to explore the earth, he senses it. His eyes dilated in shock. What the hell
What's
is
up,
that?
Isaac?
Every cell in
King.
Ghidorah's body screams for him to leave, but he's too
Oh
scared.
yeah, let's check our subs. Ooh, still 164.
Scared to move. The ice far
I'm
in
not
front of
mad
him
at
turns
that. I'm
to
actually
steam in
happy
a
that we
seconds.
got
A green
164
glow
now.
breaking through. Dagon breaks from the ice, cooling down his dorsal so he can at least stand on it. He looks at this kaiju. It's tall, eye to eye with him even, though he's never seen it before. He tries to remember any info Godzilla may have told him, but they stopped speaking far before Godzilla fought this thing. Alright then, Dagon thinks. He gets battle ready, charging his dorsals. Dagon puffs steam from his nose. Ghidorah is still frozen in horror. Dagon begins to charge, but before he can even set his second foot down, Ghidorah screams, flapping his wings so hard they snap. You! Stay the hell away from me! Ghidorah screams as he flies. In seconds, Ghidorah is out of Earth's orbit. Dagon only having taken 2 steps. He looks up at the sky. He thinks of beaming, but Ghidorah is already gone. In a matter of minutes, he's out of the solar system, flying back to wherever he came from. Dagon huffs, more disappointed than anything. He leaves, going back to the ocean below. But little does he know, he is soon going to get a visitor no one could have ever predicted. Hello everybody and welcome to your break. Go refill your water and grab yourself another snack. I want to say a few things before we continue. Firstly, apologies it took so long to make. I know you all love the What If series and I haven't posted one for like, what, 4 months now, so my bad. The main issue is that these are expensive. Sure, I could just use footage, but that's lame. I want to give you all cool pieces of art, professional voice acting, 3D models and animations, music, and everything I can possibly do to make sure you're getting the best What If content here on YouTube. At least to my knowledge. I don't know if there's like some Star Wars What If creator or something. Anyway, and I want to be open with you all. Dad, if you're watching this, cover your ears. But each one of these What Ifs runs me anywhere from $500 to $700. Some of them just barely making their money back, just by a few dollars. So while I could make more of them, they'd be poo-poo quality, at least in my eyes. So if you want to help support the series, then be sure to do all the YouTube things. Like the video and leave a comment, so it goes further in the algorithm. Subscribe so you can watch my other videos, which are usually with pay for the What Ifs. Hype up the video with YouTube's new hype feature. And if you really want to give back, then consider joining the channel. For as little as $1 a month, you can help support me and my team make more videos like these in the future. I want to give a quick shout out to all my current channel members who will be on the screen right beside me, as I want to thank you all so much for your constant support. So with my yap and teabagging aside, I hope you all are enjoying it so far. So make sure to subscribe, stay hydrated, and let's get back to the story. Following Ghidorah, months after this time, but for Ghidorah, refer to our Ghidorah as Zero. Zero collapses to the ground, lightning coming out of his nose as he gasps. He frantically runs towards his
Because I
cave,
have
but is slammed to
no
the ground by some guards. Please,
plans.
I need to speak to His Majesty. Zero
How long
pleads.
is the
The
stream
taller,
gonna
stronger
be?
Ghidorah guards fight him and start to
Another
drag him away.
hour.
What is the point?
A voice echoes from the cave. Your Highness, please.
What the men?
The guard storms to the ground.
You're the Ghidorah that was sent to Earth long ago, yes?
Yes, my lord.
Then tell me, why are you still so small?
Well, there was this ice dog along with another titan, Godzilla. They froze me and I got stuck.
What?
The cave goes quiet. Did I say something, sir?
Yes, did in fact. That name. Say it again.
Godzilla? The king's eyes shrink in recognition.
How do you know that name?
He says as he lifts Zero into the air, "It's what the other kaiju call him, I swear." Zero cries out. The king looks at that in shock.
Go on.
Well, that's the thing. There was Godzilla, but then I got frozen. I can't tell how long I was out, but it must have been for a long time. When I awoke, I called, but nothing. No response other than him.
Who?
The king asks. This thing. It was something like Godzilla, but its power, its strength, it's far beyond anything I've ever seen. The only thing that comes close is you, my lord. The king stares into the distance, eyes not fixed on anything, just thinking.
No, that can't be. They all died. I watched them die.
The king leaves his cave, telling the guards to defend the planet while he's gone. The king lifts off, as the guards call out to the cosmos, letting every Ghidorah know that Sovereign Ghidorah has left Planet X. Time passes, Sovereign Ghidorah entering our solar system after a few short weeks. Even when passing by Jupiter, he can already sense Dagon's power, along with something behind him. It's been trailing him ever since he got into the Milky Way supercluster, but he has no time to worry. He needs to find out if Zero's telling him the truth, as he just can't believe it. He saw Godzilla die in front of him by that thing. Monarch signals all their satellites to go into battle mode, aiming at the incoming threat. They fire their laser cannons, but Sovereign Ghidorah just keeps flying, entering the atmosphere. He lands, looking at the ground. He told himself he would never come back, ever since he was randomly teleported to his new home world. He never thought he'd see the blue marble again, but here it is. Ghidorah sniffs the air. The smell of fresh rain and trees fills his nose. He almost sheds a tear, remembering his old life. That's when he senses him. The ground shakes below him. Sovereign Ghidorah lifts up as the ground opens below him.
The hell?
He thinks to himself. Dagon shoots from the ground, having been ruling over Earth for many years now. He looks at Sovereign. While ready to fight, he doesn't sense any malice coming from him. He stands for a moment, Ghidorah clicking at Dagon. Dagon falls to the ground, his ears ringing in excruciating pain. While he may not have known what evolving would do to him, he's finding out now. Thanks to Shinamura's DNA, Dagon can now evolve on command to any threat. The Shinamura DNA is not a slacker, quickly destroying and rebuilding his ears to understand what Ghidorah is saying. A built-in translator, if you will. Dagon screams as his inner head rearranges and grows. Ghidorah watching in disgust and shock. Dagon catches his breath. The ringing stops. He stands looking at Ghidorah, not knowing it was actually his own body that did that. Dagon roars and charges Ghidorah. Sovereign dodges, his massive wings lifting him into the air. Dagon not missing a beat, using his forward motion to fall face first downward, and blasts a beam out, launching him up and flipping his body in the air. Before Sovereign can react, Dagon's thick tail slaps him down to the ground, cracking the crust below him.
Stop it.
Sovereign yells, just be met with Dagon landing onto him. Dagon bites on the Sovereign's neck, not wanting to get his head ripped off. Sovereign amps his body with lightning, shocking Dagon, causing him to jolt back, ripping some flesh out in the process.
I said stop.
Sovereign screams as he beams Dagon's
GG.
chest. Dagon gets
Show
pushed
space
back,
bikes.
stays standing. How are you talking about?
I'm not sure. What?
Show space
You're
bikes.
alive.
Sure.
I saw you die.
Dagon
Space
looks at him.
Bikes does kind of look like the Grand Evolved G. Here. I changed his head. He now has mouth articulation in the head. I used the old Energized Godzilla. Grim Reaper versus Godzilla and King Kong. Come say hello and subscribe. That's gonna be episode 1. Reason why it will be episode 1 is because there's gonna be 3 episodes, probably 4. It'll probably be 4 episodes every season. Season 1 will show is Space Bikes Space G's dad. Yes. That's why he's here on Earth, because he wants revenge for after Space G died. For the planet that he told him to conquer, which is planet Earth.
I did.
I'm finna take a shower. Alright, we're back.
Confused. I don't know who you are or what you're talking about.
On my
Sovereign
YouTube
looks at
channel,
you.
I'm
Remember? I woke
doing
up
the
from my
Grim
sleep.
Reaper versus Godzilla versus
was on a
Kong.
rampage.
It's
I
gonna
don't
be
know why, and
a
all
huge
honesty,
thing.
looked nothing like him. But I got there, Baragon already dead, and me and Mothra were getting ready to fight him, and out of nowhere, the giant portal opened, and this thing, it looked like you a little bit. He walked out and smiled, lifting Godzilla and ripping him in two. Mothra tried to flee, but she was cut down. And right as he came for me, I just fell straight to the ground. I don't know how, but suddenly I was in a planet far away.
Dagon looks at him, painfully confused. This dragon's out of his mind, he thinks. Look, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Godzilla, my relative, he died long ago by the Prime. Snapped his neck.
Prime? What's that?
Dagon looks at him, even more confused.
Look, I don't want to fight. I just need to come look for myself. We'll leave Earth alone going forward. Though, for your information, there is something coming. I'm not sure what it is. It followed me here and should arrive in a few days. But given your power, you should win. Good luck.
Before Dagon can even say a thing, Sovereign lifts off and flies back into space. Dagon watches, confused as hell. His world suddenly being transformed into some intergalactic hotspot. Dagon leaves, scratching his head in confusion. Over the next few weeks, Dagon picks up on a weak signal in the Kuiper Belt. Something's on its way, but it's making its pit stops, checking out other planets. He hasn't had much time to think. Is he in charge? Is he supposed to rule or just let the other Titans do their own thing? Godzilla never told him what to do if he were to take over. He can't even talk to the other kaiju, as they just run away when he tries to talk to them. Dagon sits, from being weak and numbers,
LG, I'm now
to being so
filming
strong
the
that everybody
part in my
fears him.
video.
No matter what he does, he's alone. Forever
After
solitary.
this.
Oh, Caesar. If only we're here, he mutters to himself. Monarch sends a rover to Dagon. It starts to speak in English. Dagon's ears once more adapt to what it says. Hello, Titan 12. Dagon, as you refer to yourself. There's an unknown entity flying above your head, and it's about to enter our atmosphere. It seems to be drawn to you, and we too have noticed a power change in you recently. We have multiple satellites ready to send news your way to amp yourself if need be. Good luck. Dagon starts to shake the dirt off himself, looking up, seeing a red glow in the sky. He's just bored at this point. Nothing is a real challenge. That's when the rest of the sky turns red, sparkling almost. Dagon covers his eyes as they adapt to the brightness. A roar is heard. Dagon looks up and is then slammed to the ground by a meteor. Hundreds rain down upon him, the area being leveled in seconds. Dagon gets up, breaking his way through the rock, his nose being
Bro, I'm
scratched in
on
the
a
process.
megalon.
And there, in the sky, floating down, a beast more alien than Ghidorah could ever be. Monarch is quick to name it, Titanus Mogujin. Its energy readings are all messed up, similar to Dagon's readings. Something within them is similar, but that's the odd part. The energy, it's not of this universe. Whatever it is, it doesn't belong here. Dagon tries
up,
to pick
Rick
up on
and
any possible
Graphing?
features. Its movement, micro muscle adjustments, its breathing, the tiniest clicks. Dagon tries to transform himself, but he drops again. Something new. It feels wrong. The evolution, it's wrong, but right. Like something new has entered his DNA. We got it! A Monarch researcher screams as he runs to the control room. Whatever this thing is made of, and whatever has entered Dagon, it's a new element. Not only that, but it's from a different universe. Dimensium, a corrupt version of crystalline energy, a mutated formation of what makes up everything throughout the multiverse. Mogujin seems to be a being made up almost entirely of it. It feeds on it. That's why it followed Ghidorah, but stayed for Dagon. When Dagon bit and swallowed Sovereign scales, Shinamura's DNA amplified it beyond its normal limits. Dagon's power, unmatched by anything the universe has to offer. His body now being a Dimensium farm. Mogujin tilts his head. Dagon trying to talk to him. He understands to an extent of what Dagon's trying to say, but he's more or less a mindless creature. No language to begin with. Dagon takes a step. Mogujin suddenly holding up his hands. Dagon stops. He's not sure what to do. Dagon, as a precaution, starts to build up energy, ready to evolve if need be. He takes another step, and then Dagon, frozen in time, as Mogujin's hands blind him, an indescribable light emitting out of them. Nothing in the visible spectrum. New colors and shapes presented themselves to Dagon in a fraction of a second. All is a part of Mogujin's attack. Dagon falls, screaming a blood-curdling roar. Dagon's mind flickers, with memories that aren't his own. Godzilla's, countless of them, all dead, ripped, crushed, sliced, beamed, every possible death you can think. He rolls in agony, as Mogujin's attack puts him into a hypnotized state. Mogujin slowly walks towards him, watching his prey like a Komodo dragon. He's not evil per se, but he is by far the scariest kaiju in this universe. Mogujin doesn't fight hand to hand. His lights, they make his prey see their greatest fear. Dagon's in a vegetative state. These aren't his fears, but they paralyze him in shock. Mogujin staying on a tube, stabbing into Dagon's body as he begins to drain his blood from him, sucking the Dimensium from his body to feed himself. After this, he'll make his way to Ghidorah's world to feed on him next. He didn't ask for this. He was a byproduct of its creation. When it was trying to pull kaiju to his world, it happened to stumble into an ultraverse. And unlike the Godzilla kaiju that quickly gave in, Mogujin fought back adamantly. In In a rage, it left Moguzen floating between universes. Moguzen floated for practically eternity, all until some giant metal legs rammed him and sent him here. Now he needs to gather Dimensium. All he wants is to go home, to sleep in his den once more. Dagon's body loses mass quickly, as gallons of blood are being drained by the second. Dagon is still locked in his own mind, like he's floating in a dark void. Memories that aren't his, billions of years of experience pouring in all at once. That's when a voice cuts through. This is how you'll die? Wake up! You're supposed to be the best of us. You're beyond what any member of the species has ever done. And this is how you'll go out, being sucked to a pulp? Godzilla's voice in his head rings like a gong. Get up! Moguzen is suddenly lifted, a hand suddenly grabbing his throat. Dagon's body fighting back, grabbing Moguzen. Dagon's eyes are black, but his body refuses to lose. Dagon's brain adapts and he awakens. Moguzen is scared. He opens his hand, but Dagon's eyes grow flesh over them, preventing the light from entering. He throws Moguzen far, Dagon focusing, concentrating on Moguzen's body, finding his energy signal. If he can locate the Hollow Earth's core, he can find Moguzen's. Where does he draw his power? Where can Dagon kill him painlessly and instantly? His right pec. Now, Dagon blasts a beam at Moguzen, but is blocked by Moguzen's own beam. His saw-like dorsal is glowing red, as the beam is fired from his head. Moguzen is confused and charges. Please, let me end this. I don't want to hurt you. Dagon pleads as Moguzen rushes him. Dagon rolls out of the way, dodging Moguzen's charge. He fights like a child. This poor thing, Dagon thinks, but there's no other way. Dagon turns to look, but is punched to the ground from across the city. Moguzen is sending his arm all the way there. Dagon is then lifted up. Moguzen's claws stabbing into him. Again, bringing blood. Enough! Dagon roars, as his body once more enters the flow state. I'm sorry, Dagon says. His tail whips across the city, slicing Moguzen's arm clean off. And as calm as he can be, Dagon walks to Moguzen and rams his hand through his chest. As time goes back to normal, Moguzen lets out a roar before he slumps over. His energy core pulsating 4 times to Dagon's hand. He gently lays down his foe. He was young, scared, and just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
He didn't know what he was doing. Dagon's hate builds like it did long ago. It took Moguzen from his home. It killed all those other Godzillas. Dagon, despite not knowing what to do, takes a hand of Moguzen and using his evolution DNA, connects it to his own body, charging it up and flashing it at himself. He needs to pick up on every clue. After he goes to the horrors once more, Dagon understands his world. It's one of many. He can finally use his strength. Go all out even. He needs to kill it. He needs to bring it to justice. He needs to kill Godzilla. He's killed so many for the sake of killing, wiping universes clean, and consuming worlds. A complete disregard of life. With his anger and passion growing, Dagon looks up at the panels of the sky. He calls it the upper room, but returning viewers know as a stratoscope. Dagon bends them as need be, focusing his energy. He sits for days, eyes closed. Monarch isn't sure what he's doing, but beneath his skin, he's evolving in a way no one sees coming. That's when he wakes. He sharply turns his head to a random patch of sky. Dagon breathes in, charging energy like never before. The fat burning from his body, as every cell charges for this blow.
Hold up. I need to find me a new profile. Still got that many. Ooh. This one I like.
So what's 2 equals 6? Right? Right. I'm kidding. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Well, that's quite good. That should be my first one.
Something bad is about to happen. Is that space bikes? Where? Wait. Huh?
Man, why not plan for now?
Monster vs. Evolve Super Godzilla. Oh, looks like space bikes. No, this one looks like space bikes. Wait a minute. You guys saw nothing. You guys saw nothing. Take this off. So, Can't see your face? Alright, good. Just saw your eyes and a bit of your hair. Good. I need to get a mask. Yeah, that does look like space bikes. Maybe I might remember this image and I might come back. Hold on that image. Oh, I am. Yeah, good one. Alright, I got it. I just screenshotted it. Bro, I want to see art. Art. Move your mouse. Ooh. Whoa, blue? Hold up, I'm gonna take blue. Alright, I got the blue. I'm gonna take the green. He has a red? Oh, I gotta take the red. Is there any more? I do like this one. Madzilla and Space Bikes. Oh, this is now me. I'm changing myself to a green Godzilla. But yeah, this will be perfect for Madzilla. They even got a supercharged version. I'm gonna take the supercharged version, just in case I want to change back into Evolve G. It's pretty cool. Alright, now we got that, so.
Dagon has evolved far beyond what's possible, taking his sensory abilities to their max. He can sense the pulse, the core of the multiverse itself. He blasts a beam, his body shattering the Earth's crust. A rip in space and time opens, with a long strand that leads to the core of the multiverse. Dagon can find new worlds to finally go all out, but he needs help. He needs to build a team throughout the multiverse. Dagon takes one last look at his Earth, knowing he may not ever see it again, but glad to leave nonetheless. He's always felt out of place and unwelcome here, and with that, he enters a new world. The sky roars with snow and ice. Godzilla and Gypsy Transcender stand. Riley and Ren fighting alongside the King of the Monsters. Gypsy shoots a beam from his chest, blasting against Kaiser, as Godzilla gets to his feet, but is too late. Kaiser roars as he launches a large chunk of flesh towards Godzilla, ready to stab through him. The pilots see what's about to happen, and try to stop it, but are ejected from Gypsy Transcender.
How would you react when the first trailer
He runs over, ready to take the blow.
GXK came out when Godzilla was green.
Timeline is being rewritten, sir. Shall I execute this world or keep it going?
It will
Keep
be
it going.
very
I'm
cool.
interested. Suddenly, space and time warp and rip. A tear in the sky as Dagon falls to the ground.
If Godzilla
Dagon's body
be green,
blocking the attack,
I would
stabbing
like
into
it.
Dagon's eyes shrink, the first time he's ever felt pain in his evolved state. Though, lucky for him, he recognizes the flesh. It's his own. Sorta. Monarch having planted Shinamura cells near the breach, and the precursor is using it to build Kaiser off those very cells. Dagon sucks in Kaiser's attack, adding its mass to himself. Godzilla on the ground looks up, jaw on the floor in shock. Transcender sliding to a stop in shock as well. Dagon breathes out smoke. His dorsal's glowing. At that moment, Transcender's reactor goes haywire. These energy readings, they're beyond anything he's ever seen, even surpassing the rift itself. Dagon looks down at this world's Godzilla, a smile on his face. Go! Dagon roars. Godzilla quickly gets up, running back as the Gotengo blasts off. Gypsy's Transcender stands beside him, his shielding barely withstanding the heat of Dagon's presence. And Gear's not questioning anything, looks at Dagon. What's the plan? Transcender asks. Dagon's ears once more having to translate and evolve. I got it, Dagon snaps back. He's not mad, actually quite the opposite. Finally, a Kaiser that threatens his power. Dagon runs, ramming through Kaiser. Kaiser's gloopy body falling to the ground. And Dagon, with a single pulse, disintegrates Kaiser to nothing. Well, clearly not that much of a challenge, Dagon laughs. Transcender looks at him in awe. He's huge, at least 140 meters tall. Dagon looks at Transcender, calling Godzilla over to tell him everything. Godzilla obliges, knowing he can't fight that thing. Some time passes. Dagon telling Transcender everything to tell Monarch. They had a theory the multiverse was real, and this is just further proof of it. Dagon then asks Transcender the hard question. I need you to come with me. I'm building a team and I need your help. Godzilla rises ready to come as well, but Dagon tells him no. While strong, he needs the right skill to take down Godzilla. Gypsy agrees to the task, and Gears within ready to fight, as Riley and Ren re-enter the Jaeger and get ready for battle. Don't worry, Mako. Coming home. Riley says as he looks at the photo of them, though, with that being said, I do need your help to get the next kaiju. Godzilla and Gypsy look at each other and agree. Monarch shares their multiversal knowledge with other tech companies, and are quickly able to create an interdimensional walkie-talkie. As they set it up, Gypsy Transcender makes sure everything goes to plan. Luckily, this next one won't be too difficult, Dagon says as he opens a portal, and then the three walk through. And there, on Mount Fuji, Mechagodzilla and Mothra Leo stand. Behind them, they hear a sudden halt, as Dagon and Godzilla slide to a stop. Dagon looks at his evil self. Wow. Pathetic, he says, and with a single beam, he slices his evil counterpart in two. Godzilla, watching the shock, and runs off. Again, in the last world, Dagon explains everything to Mothra, and her not seeing any reason for Dagon to lie, follows. Mechagodzilla staying behind to watch over and track down Godzilla to restrain him. 3 left to go, Dagon says. Dagon then opens 2 portals, telling them he needs to deal with the next one alone, sending the 3 off to go get the bickering siblings that are Earth Ghidorah and Evolved Godzilla. As they head off, Dagon takes a deep breath and heads into the second to last portal. Immediately, Dagon is blasted to the ground, a storm unlike anything ever seen in Earth's history. Giant chunks of rock, no, entire mountains flying into the sky. Dagon pulses, clearing the weather around him, and looking off into the distance, standing on his hind legs, Dagon sees the Hulk of his team. Titanus Zulu won't back down without a fight. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. I know the ending is a bit confusing, but I promise it'll all make sense in the future. I thought it'd be better to have one super lore, dense, focused one, so the next what ifs can be entirely combat focused, as I know that's what you guys like. After this, there'll be 2 more what ifs, and then a 2-part finale. So again, thank you to all my members. Thank you to everyone watching this live, and thank you to my amazing art team and the great work you guys always do. And thank you for watching. Share the video around if you liked it, and next up on What If, we asked the question, what if Godzilla attacked Skull Island? Thank you all for watching, and as always, keep collecting. Goji Guy out. See ya.
Yeah, he's Evolved Godzilla.
Where a single roar can ripple out into infinite realities. Endless possibilities.
A bomb, which as the name entails, destroys oxygen, killing everything near it. For to clamp his jaws shut on the Argo, out of chasing after Isla Del Mara, 2019. King Ghidorah, the one who is many, is chasing after the USS Argo, the world's most advanced military aerial system. Ghidorah is closing in on the Argo, about to land a killing blow. Right as Ghidorah is about to clamp his jaws shut on the Argo, out of nowhere, leaping out of the water is Godzilla. He emerges from the water, grabbing Ghidorah and bringing him down. Ghidorah desperately flails in the water, trying to get the king off of him. Godzilla tears into Ghidorah, ripping off one of his heads and damaging his wings severely. This is it.
Yeah.
Godzilla is going to win. Right before Godzilla has a chance
What's
to kill him,
up,
though,
Royal
the U.S. military
Nightingale?
detonates their test weapon,
Zombie Shark.
Oxygen Destroyer. A bomb, which as the name entails, destroys oxygen, killing everything near it. The bomb in the universe you know is detonated near Godzilla,
Nothing.
but in this
You-
timeline, it was just a
chillin'.
little bit closer. When the bomb goes off, it is just a few feet away from Godzilla's face. Everyone on the Argo watches in disbelief. Water calms. Then, out of the water comes Ghidorah,
Guess how many
unaffected by the
subs I
weapon
have
due to
now.
his extraterrestrial nature.
You
Flies away.
have...
People on board
Oh
quickly
wow,
check Godzilla.
congrats.
His vitals are dropping fast. Due to the bomb's closer proximity, Godzilla is in far worse shape
Congrats
than he
on
was
reaching
in
100
He's about to
in
die.
1.
If he can't find radiation fast, it's over for him. Godzilla quickly finds a hollow Earth portal and goes through it. Monarch loses his signal. Going through the portal, he gets a little extra radiation boost, which he'll need, as he's about to get into another fight. Monarch picks his signal back up. He's now in the Arctic Ocean? Godzilla roars to make his presence known, drawing out a new competitor, Titanus Typhon. The kaiju then inhabits what is later Tiamat's lair. Typhon sees the shape Godzilla's in, and knows that if he can take him down, he will become the new king. Typhon swims at Godzilla at full speed. Godzilla quickly grabs onto him, keeping him away from his gills. Typhon is strong, or at least it seems so given Godzilla's current state. If it weren't for the portal, he'd be dead by now. Godzilla intentionally allows Typhon to attack and break his dorsals. With some of his dorsals gone, and Typhon trying to wrap his body around Godzilla, with all the radiation he has left, Godzilla does his nuclear pulse, killing Typhon. Godzilla, with Typhon DNA stuck to his body and his dorsals gone, heads into his lair. Today we're changing the direction of the Oxygen Destroyer ever so slightly. That Godzilla gets so weak that his only option to survive is to evolve. How will this affect the timeline of other kaiju? Will he be able to take down Ghidorah or Mechagodzilla? Many questions will be asked in this video, so kick back and relax as we ask, what if Godzilla evolved in King of the Monsters?
Skip. Skip.
I am your guide.
Hello everyone, it's your host Goji Guy, and today we're back with another What If. I didn't plan on doing another one for a while, but you all really enjoyed the Muto one, so here we are. Today we're going to see what may have played out if in King of the Monsters, Godzilla went to evolve, rather than getting boosted by a thermonuclear bomb. Will Godzilla be able to defeat Ghidorah, or will he fall? Let's dive in. Godzilla goes into the ice to evolve. With Godzilla gone for a time, Ghidorah is free to do what he wants. After Godzilla went through the portal, Ghidorah does his alpha call, awakening the kaiju. Rodan, like in the universe you know, is the first to bow. Ghidorah gets Rodan and they head off to DC, pretty much doing what they did in King of the Monsters. Mothra awakens, sensing Godzilla's evolution, and heads to the Arctic. Godzilla awakens, having taken in every last bit of radiation within the cave. The ice breaks as Godzilla starts to break free. Coming out of the ice, Godzilla has evolved, taking in Typhon's DNA. Doing what we do best, we of course have what Godzilla might possibly look like in this new form. But we are going to do it as a more realistic Monsterverse style, rather than the Goji Guy style, aka just being over the top. Godzilla's dorsals have become slightly elongated, with a darker reddish hue. His eyes now radiate a cyan radiation, and at the very end of his tail he has small spikes. Thanks to the DNA from Typhon, he now also has accelerated regeneration, and his radiation storage has been boosted by around 10 times, rather than the 20 times you know from the main universe. Godzilla breaks out of the ice, greeted by Mothra. She's caught off guard by his appearance, but they move onward. Water boils around Godzilla, being almost entirely filled with radiation due to the cave being in the way of solar winds, making it the most radioactive place on the planet. Monarch followed Mothra, and now seeing this new evolved Godzilla for the first time, his readings are off the charts. That's when suddenly Godzilla and Mothra start rushing at full speed away from the Argo. Where are they headed? Monarch calculates the direction they're headed, and as it's calculating, they receive a call from another outpost. This is the USS Argo. What's this call for? Monster Zero and Rodan, they stopped attacking. What? Why? I don't know, sir. They just started heading south. Hold on a second. The readings come through. Godzilla and Mothra are beelining to Boston. Is Monster Zero and Rodan headed towards Boston? I suppose that could be a possibility, sir. Shit. Monarch alerts Marty Walsh, the serving mayor at the time, telling him of the situation. Walsh immediately gives a command to clear the city. Within minutes, the city is in chaos. Monarch, along with the U.S. military, evacuates thousands at a time. Helicopters, trucks, buses, and carrier planes arriving and leaving. After G-Day, the government has been ready for something like this to happen again. Within an hour, the city is clear and vacant, except for one person, Madison Russell. Madison, using Fenway Park's massive speakers, uses the Orca to lure the Titans in. The city is quiet beside the stadium. Then it starts. Except for one person, Madison Russell. Madison, using Fenway Park's massive speakers, uses the Orca to lure the Titans in. The city is quiet beside the stadium. Then it starts. It starts drizzling, then rain, then a full-on downpour. The skies darken, and the wind starts to shake the city. Ghidorah is here. Ghidorah lands just outside the stadium. All three of his heads are snarling. Madison tries to turn off the Orca, but fails. She runs, trying to get away from Ghidorah, but he's too big. Right as he's about to fire his beam at Madison,
we're almost at 2 hours.
he gets flashbangs sent tumbling back. Mothra makes it to Boston, and using her god rays, she sends Ghidorah reeling back. As Ghidorah stands back up, he's then blasted with a force he's never felt. A dark red beam slams against his chest, sending him across the city. His chest is scorched beyond recognition. Looking up, there he is, cyan eyes and dark red dorsals glowing. Godzilla. Ghidorah, for once, is intimidated. They roar at each other and rush in, Godzilla running faster than ever before. Ghidorah almost instantly realizes he's going to lose this clash. But before he can stop and move out of the way, Godzilla sidechecks him, pushing Ghidorah back to the ground. Ghidorah tries to crawl, but Godzilla slams his foot onto his tail. Godzilla then grabs Ghidorah's tail and tosses him across the city. Mothra uses her silk to then keep him down, while Godzilla charges over. Before Ghidorah can get up, Godzilla slams his foot onto Ghidorah's chest, breaking his ribs. He charges his beam, and right as he's about to fire it, Rodan, the fire demon, flies in, faster than he's ever gone. Rodan curls his body up and spins in the air, slamming his back into Godzilla with incredible force. The shockwave of the attack sends Godzilla and Mothra far away. Ghidorah gets up, burnt and broken. He quickly finds a power plant and takes its energy. He puts all the newfound electricity towards regenerating himself, rather than attacking. Within seconds, he uses up all of its power. His bones are back to normal and his skin is healed. Ghidorah tells Rodan to deal with Mothra while he takes on Godzilla. Rodan charges Mothra while Godzilla takes on Ghidorah. While caught off guard at first, Ghidorah understands it now. Ghidorah has now adapted and can predict Godzilla's speed and attacks. The two earth-shattering titans trade blows. Ghidorah strategically blasting Godzilla's head with his beam, while using his tail to swipe Godzilla's feet, knocking Godzilla to the ground. Godzilla strikes back with a crimson beam, blasting through the wing of Ghidorah. Godzilla grabs at the hole in Ghidorah's wing and tears it wider. Ghidorah roars in pain. Ghidorah fires a blast right into Godzilla's gills. Godzilla shrieks in pain like never before, but thanks to Typhon's DNA, he quickly starts to regenerate it. Mothra and Rodan slam into the ground, right beside Godzilla and Ghidorah. Godzilla needs to end this quickly, but the only way he can do so is with a pulse. Godzilla looks over at Mothra on the ground, knowing she'll be caught in the crossfire. Mothra, seemingly hearing Godzilla's thoughts, looks up at him, nodding her head, letting Godzilla know that whatever he has to do, she's fine with. With Rodan, Mothra, and Ghidorah all within range, Godzilla taps into his stored energy, glowing red. Ghidorah tries to take flight, but due to the damage dealt to his wing, it makes it impossible for him to get airborne. Godzilla's skin cracks, showing a deep, dark red glow. Godzilla roars before finally pulsing. His crimson pulse clears everything near him. Mothra is turned into a shadow, Rodan is vaporized, and Ghidorah is blown away into smoke. The dust settles. Godzilla collapses to the ground. The other titans arrive, seeing him out of breath. Godzilla gains his composure and stands up. He gives his own alpha call, telling the titans to go back to their homes and go back to sleep. And while this is a really cool what if, one thing you shouldn't have to ponder about in the future is being ripped off when buying your kaiju figures. But worry no more, as today's video is brought to you by Beast of the East Collectibles. Beast has sponsored many videos in the past, and you guys know me well. I can't turn down getting a toy, and at the same time promoting one of the best figure sellers out there. So today we're here to show off their SH Figure Arts Ultraman Arc. And of course, like any figure arts, its box is amazingly detailed, and of course comes in great condition, showing off Beast's if they're shipping. But no, really. To those who watch my live streams, when I got this figure in the mail, it took me around 4 minutes just to get the bubble wrap off. Beast is very serious with getting your kaiju goods to your door unharmed. Inside the box, you of course have Ultraman Arc, who is amazingly detailed, sculpted, and painted. He of course, like any Ultra, has a whole bunch of articulation, and looks great with any other Ultraman or Godzilla figures. He has some extra hands, a separate color timer, and his sword. That allows him to save himself in battle. But speaking of saving, here's the best part. Not only does Beast offer some of, if not the best prices out there for kaiju figures, but you can save an additional 5% on anything you order when using code GoJuGuy5 at checkout. So if you want kaiju figures ranging from Ultraman, Godzilla, and Gamera, and much more, make sure to check out the first link down below. Thank you, Beast, for watching this video, and let's move on. After the boss in battle, Godzilla goes to sleep in his lair. Humans not wanting to mess with kaiju right now are staying clear of all the oceans. Godzilla goes to sleep. Now, one issue with how the events played out is that he never got Mothra's amp, where he's able to sense what other kaiju are up to. Due to that, many things will change, starting with Behemoth. It's a sunny afternoon in Rio. People are on the beaches partying, and many are in the shops buying their groceries. Little do they know, out in the wilderness of Brazil, Behemoth is fighting for his life, facing off against Amulek, the swamp titan. Amulek lands blow after blow, and thanks to the fact that he can't feel pain unless it's hitting his head, all of Behemoth's attacks go unnoticed. Amulek pretty easily overpowers Behemoth and drags him into the water, drowning the titan. Scylla is off, taking in countless nukes, growing more and more powerful by the day. That's when Godzilla hears it. He wakes up and notices the water outside of his cave is chaotic and glowing. Godzilla just barely steps into the water when a massive cloud of hot steam sends him tumbling back. Godzilla, now mad, dives into the water, and he was not expecting to see the sight in front of him. Due to his high levels of radiation, 3 different titans were drawn near to challenge him. In front of him, Tiamat, Nakika, and the Murderfish Janitor are in battle. Tiamat using her electrogenic cells and acid breath to damage Nakika. Nakika swinging her tentacles to push Tiamat and the Murderfish away. The Murderfish Janitor trying to bite at Tiamat, while her swarm goes for Nakika. Godzilla is enraged, seeing the damage they have caused to his home, and more importantly, seeing the damage they've caused to a long-lost friend. Godzilla rushes in, grabbing the Murderfish. Godzilla rips the Murderfish's lower jaw off, killing it instantly. He grabs Tiamat and slams her to the ocean floor, using the lower jaw to stab all the way through her body, pinning her to the ground. Given Godzilla's ability to control his density, he lowers it as much as he can, sending himself shooting up in the water. In doing so, his dorsal skewer Nakika. He then increases his density, ejecting himself out of Nakika's body. Nakika quickly bleeds out, turning the surrounding water dark red. Tiamat rips off part of her body, trying to get away, but she can't navigate the red waters. It's quiet. She tries to pick up on things around her, but due to the thick blood, it stops her from doing so. She then sees the cyan eyes through the fog of blood. But before she can even react, using the red to hide his radiation, Godzilla fires his crimson beam right into Tiamat's face, killing her on sight. Godzilla takes in the surrounding radiation and goes back to sleep. Howdy everybody, here's your intermission, so go grab a drink or snack or whatever, as we need to address an important thing for the story. In this story, we'll be assuming that Kingdom Kong plays out pretty much the exact same way it did in the main universe. So, Kamazosh takes in Ghidorah Storm, Kong and Kamazosh fight, blah 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 blah. So, once this intermission is over, we'll be jumping straight into the events of GBK. And before we start back up, let me quickly show off gifts from Goji, a fundraiser I started. I'll keep it quick for you. We, the Kaiju community, are trying to raise $54,000 for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So give it a look if you can, and please consider donating. Alright, and let's dive back in. Monarch plans on taking Kong off of Skull Island, as it's too far gone. The storm has consumed the island, and is flooding the island more and more by the day. Monarch devises a plan to get Kong from Skull Island into the Hollow Earth. They knock him out with some sleep juice, and load the ape onto a boat to take him away. While this is happening, Godzilla wakes up. While his senses aren't nearly as strong as they used to be, they're still strong enough to sense something. Waking him from his sleep, he can feel that many kaiju are gone. Behemoth, Binya, Baphomet, and many more are no longer alive. And to add on to all of this, he feels a powerful presence, coming from Cape Town, South Africa. Filled with rage, knowing something is happening, Godzilla pumps himself up and heads out. Kong has successfully arrived to Antarctica. Kong, after some convincing, heads into the Hollow Earth to live peacefully for the rest of his life. No, really, that's it. What do you think, he's gonna heroically come back in the final act? Pfft, get out! Godzilla arrives. The city, or what is left, is engulfed in flames. Godzilla looks around trying to find the culprit, and he finds one. What was once a relatively lightweight kaiju has now bulked up to a scary degree, and is glowing orange, almost in a thermonuclear state. Scylla, the crab-like titan, is to blame. Godzilla not having been able to sense her until now. While he was off sleeping, Scylla has been scouring the Earth for radiation, taking in countless nuclear bombs and nuclear reactors, such as the one that she just consumed. She is now more than tripled in weight, and now stands at around 130 meters tall. Her shell is thickened and become more resistant to attacks, and her toxic mist has become potent enough to kill kaiju with ease. Godzilla huffs, steam coming out of his nose, and dorsal's glowing red, ready for battle. They charge into each other. Scylla wins the initial clash, pushing Godzilla onto his back. Godzilla shoots its beam into Scylla's belly, pushing her up into the air. Godzilla tries to get back up, but he can't move. He looks over at his hand that's now been submerged in webbing. Scylla comes back and stabs 5 of her legs into the ground, however one of them stabs deep into Godzilla's side. Scylla then releases her toxic mist. Godzilla desperately tries to use both his gills and nose to breathe, but to no avail. That's when Godzilla gets an idea, charging up all of his radiation but keeping it in his dorsals. This will either blow his back open, or look super cool. But Goji didn't have time to weigh the pros and cons, and he blasted out. Within a fraction of a second, Godzilla goes from 0 to over 500 miles an hour, blasting out enough radiation to destroy an entire country if not well managed by Goji. Godzilla and Scylla are now high in the sky, blasting through the smoke cloud in the air. Both are disoriented, but with all the air rushing by, Godzilla can once again breathe. Godzilla can once again breathe. Godzilla quickly blasts out his atomic breath to push himself towards Scylla. Scylla grabs Scylla as they fall towards the ground. He knows his beam can't get through her shell, but gravity can. Scylla tries to spin around Godzilla, but she has no way to propel herself in the air. Godzilla releases another pulse to blast them even faster into the ground. Scylla roars for mercy, but it's too late. They crash into the ground, sending a shockwave that puts a deep crack into the continent itself. Scylla has been eliminated, being reduced to a splat. Godzilla wobbly stands up and roars. And then he realizes the issue. Now that Scylla's gone, he feels another power. One close to Scylla's power, but something's off. It's a new power that he hadn't sensed before, and it's coming from Hong Kong. Godzilla quickly regenerates and heads off to Hong Kong. Godzilla makes landfall, flooding the coast. He's infuriated. Whoever's here must be the one that killed so many of his fellow Titans. Though he realizes the radiation levels are coming from Hong Kong itself, spread about the city. But before he has a chance to check it out, he hears a roar challenging him to battle. Breaking out of the mountain is Mechagodzilla, glowing blue, ready for battle. Walter Simmons is at the wheel. Godzilla charges at Mechagodzilla, Mechagodzilla doing the same. They clash into each other, Godzilla scratching at the mech, though his claws do little damage to Mechagodzilla's armor. Mechagodzilla boosts his feet, launching himself into the air, slamming one of his knees into Godzilla's lower jaw. Godzilla is stunned and fumbles back. Unlike the sporadic Ghidorah, who is in control in GBK, Walter has been practicing for this battle, having gone through hundreds, if not thousands of battle simulations. Godzilla has to develop an entire new fighting style or new ability if he wants to win this fight. Godzilla quickly thinks and comes up with a plan. He noticed that within the mountain there is tech that looks similar to Mechagodzilla. If he can destroy the mountain, he might be able to short-circuit Mechagodzilla enough to supercharge his beam. Godzilla pulses at Mecha, slamming into his chest, pushing Mechagodzilla back. Mechagodzilla shoots a barrage of missiles and loudspeakers to destroy Godzilla. Godzilla doesn't take any damage, but is slowing down, his senses being overwhelmed by this fight. But he pushes through. Godzilla blasts atomic breath into the ground, turning all the water that flooded the city into a massive steam cloud. Due to the hot steam, Mecha's thermal vision isn't working. That's when, BAM! Godzilla does a dorsal pulse and sends Mechagodzilla flying back. With the Mecha down, Godzilla quickly runs to the mountain. He breaks through it with ease, destroying the mountain and killing Walter Simmons. Mechagodzilla turns off. Godzilla charges up his beam and fires. It starts to heat up Mechagodzilla, but the heat activates Mechagodzilla's cooling system, spewing out dry powder, the same as in fire extinguishers. That's when he hears it. Mechagodzilla does a taunting roar. Mechagodzilla charges out. While Godzilla destroyed a large amount of the facility, enough of Ghidorah's skeleton was intact, and takes over Mechagodzilla's body. Mechagodzilla starts to absolutely destroy Godzilla. Godzilla is desperate. That is when he thinks of something that will use up almost all of his radiation. Godzilla kicks Mechagodzilla off of him, and quickly charges all of the radiation he has into a single beam, and blasts it at the ground where Mechagodzilla stands. Before Mechagodzilla can move out of the way, the ground opens. Godzilla has forcefully opened a hollow earth portal. Mecha falls, and Godzilla stops the beam as Mechagodzilla is falling into it. Mechagodzilla gets gojoed and gets cut in half by the portal closing. Mechagodzilla is down. Godzilla falls, catching his breath. Luckily, he still has some radiation left, but if he were to have kept going, he would have completely ran out. How lucky for Godzilla. I'm sure that's not lazy writing on my end. Pfft, of course not. Not like he's about to fight someone who's actually the secret villain this entire time, right? Pfft, no, of course not. But then, the ground shakes around him. That is when Godzilla is presented with a sight that will forever horrify him. Out of the ground, around the entire city, dead kaiju carcasses rise into the air. Behemoth, Akika, Tiamat, the Murder Fist, Muta Prime, and many, many more. That's when he sees him, the kaiju who brought him here, Amulok. Amulok smiles as his once tree and mud-filled body is replaced with the bones of all the Titans. Not only that, but Amulok absorbed the radiation from said kaiju. How could this be, Godzilla thinks? Well, while Godzilla was asleep or fighting other kaiju, Amulok went killing other Titans, collecting the bodies of both his and Godzilla's victims. But he didn't take in the radiation then. Oh, no. That would give away his plan. So instead, he burrowed them all to Hong Kong, bringing their bodies here. Knowing about Mechagodzilla's construction, he lured Godzilla here, making him think Mecha was the one doing all this. Amulok was hoping Mecha was strong and was not disappointed. Mechagodzilla forced Godzilla to use a large amount of his radiation to battle him. And now Amulok can easily kill Godzilla. Amulok is now a massive abomination of bones and fallen titans, standing well over 260 meters in height, and to top it off, his face. Just to mock Godzilla, using it as a helmet to protect the only physical part of his body, Amulok uses Dagon's skull. Dagon being the last member of the Godzilla species besides Godzilla himself. Godzilla knows this is an uphill battle. Well, it literally is. Amulok is on top of a hill. Godzilla pushes his emotions aside and locks them in. Godzilla roars and charges. Amulok, using his telekinesis, launches his bony tentacles towards Godzilla. Godzilla, with the radiation left, masters his pulses, pushing himself around, dodging Amulok's attacks. Amulok, seeing his tentacles aren't working, slams them all together into Godzilla. Godzilla is getting crushed by the bones of his own friends. Godzilla cranks his radiation as much as he can, raising the temperature inside the bone dome. The bones start to melt, just enough for him to break out. With his built-up radiation, Godzilla shoots a beam right at Amulok's face. Amulok shuts the jaw of Dagon to take in the beam. And with how the Gojira specimens work, Dagon absorbs a good amount of the radiation, further buffing Amulok. Godzilla's face is filled with dread, knowing he can't win this battle. Amulok laughs and is about to send a massive tentacle at Godzilla to shish kebab him. That's when Godzilla looks up, having expected a punch, but he is met with a sight that shocked him to his core. With Tiamat dead, a certain kaiju is never killed off by her. Standing in front of Godzilla, the only kaiju that he's ever lost to, a being that he hasn't seen in millions of years. In front of Godzilla stands the rival, an ancient Kong. Godzilla is embarrassed and pissed off that he needs help from this guy of all titans. But there's no time. Godzilla pushes his ego aside and stands up, ready to fight. The rival is now much older, so he can't quite use tools like Kong, but he still has the fighting skills he had all those years ago. Wrapped around the rival's hands is seemingly boxing tape made of skin, and what seems to be glitter? That's when Amulok stands back up, but something's off. Some of his bones are falling off. Only a few, but still, his body is becoming undone. Godzilla looks back at the rival and now knows what the glitter is. It is the crushed antlers of countless spirit tigers. The spirit tiger having the ability to inflict hallucinogenic effects on its targets. And with Amulek's ability of telekinesis being altered by the spirit tiger's dust, he is losing his ability to keep himself together. The rival and Godzilla know what to do. Godzilla rushes in, holding Amulek down. He pushes past Amulek's bones and starts attacking. Amulek tries to pull him off, but his tentacles are failing him. With Amulek distracted, the rival runs past, landing an uppercut and a side punch in Amulek's face, causing more of his body to fall apart. Amulek is starting to trip out. Godzilla is easily tearing through Amulek's body now, only needing to pull slightly to pull the bones out. And with this, Godzilla is starting to absorb the radiation of his fallen allies. The rival again lands a punch, and with that punch, Amulek is now fully, well, high, more or less. His body crumbles. Godzilla, now with the radiation of countless kaiju flowing through him, overcharges himself. Radiation blasting out of him, so much so that the rival is pushed back and can't even get close. Godzilla charges his beam, his dorsal's melting, revealing the bone underneath. With one last battle cry, Godzilla shoots his beam into Amulek's head, atomizing him instantly, and literally cutting through the planet in the blink of an eye. Amulek is dead. The ground shakes as the two pieces of Earth pull themselves back together. After the shaking is over, Godzilla looks over at the rival, glowing white with radiation. Godzilla is infuriated that out of all the kaiju to come help him, it was him. Godzilla roars at the rival roaring back with a smirk. Knowing what's about to happen, Godzilla charges at the rival, ready to kill him and settle the score. But before he can, the rival collapses, having finally died due to his age and pushing himself in this battle. Godzilla stops to look at his body. After all this, the rival has the audacity to die of old age, making him the only kaiju to ever beat Godzilla. Godzilla not having the chance to tie that score. Godzilla smirks and makes his way back into the ocean. What happens after this is up to you to decide. And that's where, at least for now, this story comes to an end. Thank you all so much for watching. And thank you to everybody that helped out. I cannot name everybody off the top of my head just due to how many there were, but there will be countless people credited down below in the description. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. And what did you think about the story? What were your thoughts on Amulek being the final villain? Or the rival coming in to help Godzilla? Let me know down in the comments. And don't go just yet, there is an end credit scene. But before that plays, again, if you can, try and donate to the fundraiser. And also, YouTube added a feature recently where I can see my most supportive fans. So massive shout out to Mr. Space G Zillaman and Tyranno Rex. Both those guys have commented over 100 times on different videos. So thank you to you two. And hey, who knows? Maybe in the next video, you'll be one of those #1 fans. But as always, keep collecting. Koji Guy, out. See ya. "3,125 years ago, the 11th century BCE, an epic battle of titanic proportions is playing out. Dagon, an ancient titan, is fighting against a beast known as the Mutu Prime. Their blows shake the earth itself. While these kaiju are massive fighting skill, Dagon just can't seem to land any good hits or get into a tempo. Though, unlike the universe you know, Dagon uses a different technique. Dagon slams against the Prime,
This
ultra
is a
back,
long
giving
stream.
him time to
I
charge
know.
his beam as much as possible. And
I
once
did
he has
say I
the
was
chance,
gonna
he
make it
fires
2
it
hours
out.
long, so.
His beam blasts against the Prime's chest.
And then y'all do
pushing it
deserve
around,
it
and in the process,
for all the
pushing
support
himself away.
guys are
Dagon
giving
keeps
me,
firing it, slowly stepping back while his beam further slides, pretty much moonwalking. Once his beam is all used up, he's about 500 meters away.
And also,
right near the
I've not
shoreline.
been watching the
Dagon
videos
quickly turns around
because
and runs
I've
as
been
fast
working
as he
on
can.
him,
As he runs,
trying
the
to
Prime
make
uses her
him
sonic
red
screech and
because
shatters his
that is his
dorsals.
next
He falls
evolution.
in agonizing pain, but he pushes through it, knowing he'll die if he stays down. In the universe you know, Dagon keeps fighting with all his might, but it just wasn't enough. But here, in this timeline, Dagon plays smarter, not harder, executing a tactical retreat. Today we're altering the timeline ever so slightly, as to keep Dagon alive to the modern day. What will happen to the other kaiju in the Monsterverse? Will the Muto cease to exist? And most importantly, what will happen to Godzilla? Hello everyone, it's your host Koji Guy, and today we're here to ask, what if Dagon never died?
Time. Space. reality. It's more than a linear path. It's a seismic rift of endless possibilities, where a single roar can ripple out into infinite realities, spawning alternate worlds alongside the ones you know. I am the Overlord. I am your guide through these vast, chaotic realms. Follow me and ponder this question. What if?
Again, hello everyone, it's your host Goji Guy, and firstly, happy 2025. Hope you all had a great 2024. With that being said, we're in the last 24-ish hours of the fundraiser Gifts from Goji. Now, did we reach our goal? No. But with that being said, as of writing this, we have raised almost $5,000. I want to thank everyone who donated and shared it around. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Your donations may single-handedly save a life. And with that out of the way, let's get back to the what if. In the universe you know, Dagon loses against the Prime and gets implanted with the Muto eggs, causing his death. But what if he didn't die? What if he ran away? Let's dive in. Dagon flees, having to swallow his pride in doing so. Little does he know, this action just saved him from a long, painful death. The Prime stands up, her chest scorched from a prolonged exposure to the atomic breath. But she quickly digs into the ground and leaves. Many years later, the Prime is on a search to lay her eggs, and luckily she finds a host. She finds a young kaiju wandering around what will later be Chile. He is furry, with 2 long tusks starting to grow. He's young, maybe only a few million years old at the time. The Prime stalks her prey, and when he's fully distracted, she strikes. The Prime sticks her ovipositors into his chest, implanting 2 eggs, and she quickly gets up and leaves. The kaiju having no idea what just happened, but soon enough, he will. The year is 1998. The people of Brazil are having a good time. Parties on the beach, bustling in the streets, and much more. That's when it starts. The ground shakes, not like an earthquake, rather as if something incredibly heavy is walking their way. That's when the screaming begins. People look up to the mountains in horror. A huge animal, no, a titan climbs over. It's Behemoth. Behemoth stands, roaring in agonizing pain. Behemoth's chest tears open as 2 hideous creatures fall out of it and start running away, both running down the mountain. People are crushed, buildings are destroyed, and streets are wiped away. These 2 beasts quickly make it to the shore and swim to safety. The world is in shock, as this is the first sighting of what an organization called Monarch refers to as a Titan. Massive creatures that the world can't explain. The countries around the world have their militaries ready for what's next. But that's the interesting thing. Nothing happens. Weeks, months, even years go by. Nothing. No sight of those freakish beasts that crawled down the mountain. The world goes back to a calm state. Everyone, good guy popping in here. Just a heads up, after this, we're pretty much assuming G14 played out the exact same way it did. I guess just imagine the Mutos, but slightly furry, and boom. That's what happens next, so, yeah. Subscribe if you're liking the story so far, and let's move on. The year is 2015. Godzilla is drawn to an energy source, making his way to Japan, specifically the Onigawa nuclear power plant, an extremely powerful and dangerous power plant, one that's always been on his radar if he would ever need an extra boost of radiation. Though the reason he's headed there isn't because he needs a boost. Rather, he can feel his power draining away. Once arriving on shore, Godzilla is met with flames and alarms. The plant is almost entirely destroyed. Helicopters and buses are fleeing, while others are desperately trying to get away. Godzilla puffs steam out of his nose, ready to battle whoever did this. And that's when he sees her. Through the black smoke, he sees bright orange eyes looking back at him. The Muto Prime is here, gathering radiation to lay more eggs. Godzilla recognized her from millions of years ago, their species almost having entirely wiped each other out. Godzilla knows that if he can take her out, his species will win the war. He roars and charges the Prime doing the same. Godzilla is strong, but due to being in his Gyaragochi form, he isn't quite powerful enough. They clash, shaking the ground around them and causing a sonic boom. Godzilla slashes the Prime, cutting her arm. The Prime, wanting to get these eggs laid ASAP, quickly gets the upper hand in the battle, using her massive arms to easily overpower and shove Godzilla to the ground. Godzilla fires his beam at her chest and pushes her away, but she's learned to block the Gogeta beams. Due to her fight with Dagon, she uses her sonic roar, being able to disrupt Godzilla's beam, having it disperse, and by the time it hits her, it's no more than fire. Godzilla gets up but is again slammed into the ground. He can't catch a break. He fires his beam again, but no luck. She once again roars, disrupting his beam, and this time causes serious damage to his dorsals. She roars again, and again, and again. Godzilla can barely keep his eyes open, and his dorsals are gone, leaving huge holes in his back. Godzilla is hopeless.
The
The Prime is ready
stream
for the
is
killing
finna
blow. That's
end.
when,
I
from the
repeat,
left,
the
out of
stream
nowhere,
is
an
finna
atomic
end.
beam is blasted into the Prime's side, sending her tumbling away. Godzilla looks over and is shocked to see Dagon? Godzilla, in terms of the Titanus Gogeta specimen, is pretty young, while Dagon is an elder. Not only is he an elder Gogeta, he was one of the main powerhouses back in the day, against the Mutos, when the Gogeta-Muto War took place. Though, he looks different. Unlike the sharp spikes he once had, they've been replaced with longer, more artistic dorsals. Dagon charges her, and bites and slashes at the open wound. The Prime roars in pain, pleading for mercy, but her cries fall on deaf ears. Dagon is quickly able to open her chest, and beams right through her, frying her and killing her in moments. Dagon walks over to Godzilla, still on the ground. Godzilla smiles and starts to get up. That's when Dagon slams his foot into Godzilla's chest. Godzilla roaring in pain. Dagon looks at Godzilla with disgust. Godzilla lifts his arm, but Dagon slams it down with his tail. Dagon roars at Godzilla. Helpless and on the brink of death, he takes his foot off of Godzilla. Goji rises to his feet and then kneels,
How is
lowering his
everyone
head,
today?
knowing he has no choice but to bow to his new
Everyone
king.
should be
Dagon is
doing
now
good.
filled with pride and orders Godzilla to follow him. They make their way into the sea, and over the next few months, Dagon and Godzilla attack unprovoked, taking nuclear energy and leveling cities one after another. That's when one man gives an idea to stop them. Alan Jonah, an eco-terrorist, infiltrates a Monarch outpost and steals the Orca, a device that can lure and control kaiju. With this in his hand, he quickly awakens the Titan to see what kind of firepower they'll need going forward. Breaking out of a massive volcano, Rodan, the fire demon, is awakened. Using the Orca, he lures Godzilla and Dagon over to Rodan. This is where the fun begins. Godzilla and Dagon arrive to Isla Del Mara. Godzilla now having regrown his dorsals, similar to Dagon. The place is in chaos. They look around for who called them, but they don't see anyone. That's when they hear a roar. Rodan comes flying down to attack, but before he can even get close, the two Gogeta fire their atomic breaths right at him, causing Rodan to explode in the sky, lava raining down. Jonah and Monarch are stunned. They didn't even give Rodan a chance. Dagon has manipulated Godzilla, and together are now an unstoppable force. Monarch and Alan Jonah both have their own plans and put them into motion. Alan and his team quickly head to the Arctic. They break into another Monarch outpost and quickly clear the place out. There's only one Titan that stands a chance against these two beasts. Monster Zero, an alien from another world, who, according to Monarch, fought Godzilla many years ago. They dig around Ghidorah and scan his entire body. Once they have all the angles and images, they fuse them all together, ready to launch Project AC. Using the scans, they quickly design a model of Ghidorah, which is their only hope, to force Ghidorah into doing his alpha call. They set bombs on Ghidorah and detonate. Everything goes quiet. Then, it starts. A huge storm materializes out of thin air. As the one who is many is awake, Ghidorah roars, but before he can take flight, Ghidorah looks up in shock. A huge Ghidorah stands before him, much larger than himself, red horns and black scales covering his body. Little does Ghidorah know this is all a fake. Using the model, the team quickly made what they believe what could possibly be an older version of Ghidorah. Using holograms in the Orca, they're able to scare Ghidorah into submission. Using the Orca, they make Ghidorah rise to his feet and tell him to do his alpha call. Ghidorah, being scared shitless, obliges. Standing strong and roaring with all he's got, Ghidorah awakens the kaiju around the world. This time adds a new command: hunt down Godzilla and Dagon. Once Ghidorah is done, he himself flees to track down Godzilla. Alan and his team are the first humans to ever successfully control the devil with 3 heads. They pack up their bags and quickly head to safety, far from all the kaiju. Over the span of the next few days, Godzilla and Dagon fight kaiju after kaiju, but none are able to match their power. Tiamat, atomized. Abaddon stomped out, and the Muto Queen, the last of the Muto species, well, she had a special death. Dagon went out of his way to make sure her death was especially cruel, snapping off one of her own legs and proceeding to stab it through her body, pinning her to the ground. He slowly and methodically snaps off and breaks every single one of her legs, one after the other, staying alive through the entire process. Dagon then ends her by slowly pushing the weight of his own body onto her head with his foot, slowly crushing her skull. Godzilla watches from afar, and while he'll continue to serve Dagon, he starts to ponder if what they're doing is wrong. I mean, he's had to kill his own friends, and Dagon is too cocky and takes too much pleasure in his kills. That's when the clouds darken, and it starts to rain. Dagon and Godzilla look up, yellow lightning inbound.
Alright.
Godzilla knows what this means. Dagon,
We are
however,
done.
has no history with Ghidorah. He
Hope you enjoyed. Bye.